Hey guys, um, I just got back from the climbing gym and I felt like it was time to make another vlog. By now, I'm not really traveling as much. I'm like just in New York City, but I feel like I'm still on a journey for like the next year probably, and I'm curious how it'll turn out for me. So I'm going to keep making these, and there's also a lot of interesting ideas I want to explore with other people. So I want to put out in the world and see if it reaches any interested parties. But today I'm going to talk about experimental art parties and yeah, like why I'm excited about them, what I sort of reach for when I throw some of these parties. So what do I even mean by an experimental art party? I think like there are many like forms of gatherings that I find less satisfying. For example, going to an art museum often feels sterile to me. It's typically like these large white rooms, and there are framed works of art, and they're sort of there for you to behold and not to interact with. So I actually find art that is be actively worked on in the artist studio to be much more alive and to be shown in context of like this artist's world and what they're like going through with like all their other materials, and you can kind of see like the state of like the almost like their mental state or their emotional state, and just what world was this artwork like birthed. So yeah, like a desire to be immersed in a creative a world, but an artist studio is also often just like one artist's space. And so I also was craving the feeling of being able to also participate, and so the audience being able to co-create this experience of playing in a magical, immersive, creative like birthing experience. And along with that, I feel like your normal house party is a bit unsatisfying because like typically you just socialize and hang out, and sometimes you have really satisfying one-on-one conversations, and that's awesome, but I think you can do more. Like it can be more interesting than just hanging out, and it could be more experimental, and there could be more intention in what this gathering is out to do or experience together. I also like there's big festivals like Burning Man that encourages creating like installations and encourages like performance art, but that often requires like you buy this very expensive ticket, you fly out there, it's like this whole week-long experience for which usually camps have prepared for like months to create in like really gigantic art sculptures, and I wonder if that could be more accessible, and we could have like regular parties that are have these like people bring like some art installation they made that week or that day, and we create a space that is like almost like a miniature Burning Man, but like not as wild, not as like drug fueled, but feels very alive, and almost like you get a glimpse of people's inner worlds all together in this space. I also love like co-created musical jams. I feel like the best parties have music. Like a music concert, for example, is like great, but I also crave just the aliveness of a bunch of friends jamming together, because you discover as you go like what is emerging between you guys, and there's also like salons where you can talk about philosophy or your latest your latest rabbit hole that you've gone down, and could we bring that also into a party so that you are having some interesting intentional conversations about some topic at hand. So there's all of these experiences that I think can be pulled together to create a really amazing party. And I also am interested in like the magic of a party. Like a party is so immersive. You could ramp it up and like tap all 5 senses, bring in objects, like symbolic objects, magical objects that imbue the space with some specific vibe based off of your theme. So for example, I just threw this party and there's a lot of flowers, and it was around like celebrating high summer and birthing and community pollination, and I think that's the flowers lent a lot to the feeling of just like the power in the air. So every party, I think, should have some sort of concept that you're revolving around, and then based off of this core like theme or concept, you can then develop this language of objects, or like materials such as flowers, wood, ice, metal, glass, water, plastic. Is it fluorescent lighting, warm lighting? All of these things can play into creating an immersive experience around what you're trying to do. And I also love churches as a place of transformative power and magic, and they bring such a feeling of like reverence, like this sacred beauty that is missing in a lot of modern life. And so for a lot of my parties, I end up creating almost like this shrine out of all the magical objects, and it allows you to concoct this more intentional, more sacred, more beautiful, more co-created, almost like magical ritual that leaves the party goers feeling like they've been moved in some way, and had like deeper experiences and accessed like this heightened state. So yeah, that's my spiel on experimental art parties. See you guys.